Happy Talk Tuesday. Hello, everybody. It's your girl Ashley, the amateur expert, coming to you live today for this episode of Talk Tuesday. I have a special guest. They're all special, but I have to say it every week. Special guest coming into you today. We'll be talking about career path, idea of success. If this is your first time joining us, thank you. Hope you come back. Hey, KK, I see you in the chat. If this is your first time joining us, thank you. Welcome. I hope that you are inspired. It is truly my journey. It's truly my passion and my hope that when you listen to the podcast, you are inspired by our guest story. And so Pastor Wanda is with us, so we will get started. Hey, Mom, I see you in the chat. Happy Talk Tuesday. Hello.
Hello, Ashley. How are you?
I am well. How are you today?
I am fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being our guest today on the Amateur Expert Podcast.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. So I want to jump right in. I want to ask you, please, Pastor Wanda, if you could introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you are doing currently for work.
Okay, so I am, Ashley calls me Pastor Wanda. I be pastor to two locations, two churches here in Pennsylvania called Higher Ground Church International, one in Philadelphia and one in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I have been pastoring with my husband for over 23 years. So I am older than what you think.
Black don't crack, baby.
Black crack. In addition, I'm a goal-setting author, motivational speaker, strategist, and I'm also a goal-setting TV host. I have my own TV show titled Achieve Your Goals with Wanda Martin on RVN TV Network. And so, yeah, that's who I am.
I love it. And we love a multi-hyphenate on the show. So thank you for that. Okay, so when you were a little girl, can you tell me what you wanted to be when you grew up and what was the motivating factor behind that?
Okay. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be an Olympic runner. I wanted to be I ran track since I was 5 years old. And so that was the motivational factor behind that. I always wanted to be in the Olympics. And so my sights were just in running distance and to win the gold in the Olympics.
I love that. Okay. And so I guess if I had to ask you to define success, it would be getting that gold.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be getting the gold.
I love that, and all the hard work and determination that goes into that. Okay, so you are now an author, an entrepreneur, and a host, motivational speaker. Can you sort of share with us your journey? So when did you stop running track, or what made you pivot from track to something else?
I would just say age. Age made me pivot when I realized I ain't going to the Olympics. I'm not going to make the Olympics. But really, when my husband and I, we got married, a few years into our marriage, we became pastors. And so definitely there was a big pivot in my life. And so becoming a pastor, we've been pastoring for over 20 something years. And in the midst of that, with how did I get into goal setting was from my mother. You know, a couple of years ago, my mother had taken sick. Well, let me just back up. You know, in growing up, I saw my mother always set and achieve goals. And so as I always saw her set and achieve goals from moving us into a new home. It was 6 of us at that time. So moving us into a new home, having her get promoted on her job, starting an athletic group with women. And so I just always saw my mother set and achieve goals. And so that really got me into it. She really never set me down personally and taught me step-by-step strategy. Wanda, this is how you set and achieve goals. I just kind of watched her. And so as a result of that, when my mother took sick, I remember because she lived in Atlanta at that time. And so we had brought her from Atlanta back here to Pennsylvania, where all of her children lived. And so she was staying with me for quite some time. And I remember sitting down having a conversation with her. And I said, Mom, you know, I noticed that when you retired, because when she moved to Atlanta, she retired. I said, Mom, when I noticed when you retire, you kind of stopped setting goals. And from that time, her health kind of started to decline little at a time because she wasn't doing anything any longer. She didn't have any motivational factor. She just kind of laid in the bed and watched her stories,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
health started to decline. And so I said, Mom, why did you stop setting goals? And her response to me was, Wanda, I just felt like at this time, she said, I'm too old to have goals.
Mm.
And so when she said that, obviously, I tried to encourage my mom, you're never too old to have goals, and it's never too late for you to be great. However, she didn't buy that. She just felt like she was just too old at this time. And shortly thereafter, my mother passed away.
Oh, wow.
I
Sorry to hear
always say that we buried my mom. She didn't die alone. She died with all of her dreams and her goals on the inside of her, because I knew that there was still more on the inside of her, but
that.
she felt as though she was just too old to have goals. And so from there, her death caused me to become alive in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I started to really hone in on teaching people how to set. First, I learned it myself, but then teaching people how to set and achieve goals for their lives. And it was my mother's death that really inspired me to do that. And so, my saying is, you're never too old to have goals, and it's never too late to be great.
I love that.
So that was my journey with that. And so it had definitely matriculated to where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm really into teaching walking students, college students, high school students, elementary schools, into goal setting. Because when I was in school back then, no one taught us how to set and achieve goals. They taught us things that we're not even using today.
Yes.
And one of the things I felt like if I would have had goal setting, even as a curriculum,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have been a whole lot further than I am today. And so I've been doing that now, really going into the school systems, teaching leadership. I'm at the school district of Philadelphia teaching some of the administrators about goal settings. I got another contract within the school system. And so I'm really into teaching goal setting where students and colleges, college students are concerned.
That's amazing. And it's a great way to honor your mother. And so thank you for sharing that with us. So how would you define success today?
Success today, I define it as living life on your own terms.
Mm.
Living life on your own terms, where you're the boss of your own dreams.
Yeah.
You're the boss of your own life. So that's how I would define success. You have options. You do what you want to do when you want to do. It's living life on your own terms, not on someone else's terms. To me, that's where success is. Goes
That's
from.
great. I love that. And so what is something that you know now that
Okay.
maybe you would have wished that you had known sooner?
Do it afraid.
Mm.
I would say do it afraid. I believe I missed out on a lot of opportunities, Ashley, because I was afraid to be great.
Mm.
Afraid I
Oh
was
boy.
good enough. And that's
Mm.
what I would tell my younger self now. Never, myself now that I wish someone would tell me when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
don't get stuck at being good enough because you're too scared to be great.
Woo.
And that was my thing. I was too scared to step out of the box and to be different, to be unique,
Mm-hmm.
to be my authentic self. I always wanted to fit in, to be like
Yeah.
everyone else. And so that hindered a lot, I would say.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I feel like you just spoke life into a lot of us and those that will be listening on the replay. That is great. And I think that when I started Affirmed Armor, which is the clothing brand that I started 2 years ago now, I was apprehensive to do it because just clothing and fashion, like it's just not my thing. But I had to do it scared and I had to do it. I just had to. And so I'm happy that you said that because I think that there are other things that myself and probably others that are listening are supposed to be doing, but they're, apprehensive or are not willing to do it, afraid or wanting to be perfect as opposed to uh, getting started and being able to fine tune it along the way. Um,
And I agree. I think that's good that you even said that, because I do think a lot of people deal with that. They settle.
mhm.
They settle for just, this is good enough, where they know on the inside of them there's greatness.
Yes. No, that's beautiful. And the first affirmation actually that we put out with Affirmed Armor was I am enough. Because I think it's a reminder that I need it for sure. And so thank you for saying that. And my mom put it in the chat, go out on the limb. Because I think it's that's where the fruit is. Go out on the limb, that's where the fruit is. Something along those lines. But that's a quote from Mark Twain. And so you got to do it. You got to do it. Okay. So tell us this. What are some of the tips and or motivators that you've used along your journey?
What are some of the tips that I've used along my journey to where I am now? When it
Like
comes,
what kept you motivated?
what kept me motivated? My goals definitely kept me motivated. Well, first and foremost, my relationship with God keeps me motivated.
Mm,
You
amen.
know,
Amen.
I
Yes.
I to where I am today from my relationship with God, my walk with God, my connection with God. And that's first and foremost. I know I would not be able to do what I'm doing, to
Mhm.
be where I am, to have what I have, if it wasn't for God in my life. And so
What's that?
that connection in my life is everything to me. And so I would not forfeit anything like for my relationship with God. Is so that's my one thing.
Yeah.
I keep him first and foremost, because we know that the scripture says if you seek him first, then everything else is going to be added. And so that's the thing, keep him first. But then also, secondly, I would say will be goal setting.
Hmm.
Goal setting really has been a tremendous stepping stone for me, to help me to get to where I am today, and just the different steps that I've utilized, like writing down my goals every day. Also changing my mindset, because I find mindset is so important to your success. I had to really change my mindset because I dealt with being a perfectionist. And so
Yeah.
everything had to be perfect. And so I had to be willing to choose purpose over perfect. That it's
Ooh.
about being perfect, it's about the purpose that God has called me to be in alignment with that purpose. And so I had to change my thinking. And when I realized when I transformed the way that I was thinking, it really started to transform my life. And so those were like really the two big tips that really helped me to stay committed to my goals and stay committed to my God.
I think we need to just let that breathe for a second. I
Oh,
mean, I had to, you said I had to choose my purpose over my perfection.
yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That that was that hit a that hit a chord for me. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. I'm like digesting because I needed to hear all of this today. So thank you.
And I felt like if it wasn't perfect, that I wasn't walking in my purpose. If it wasn't perfect, then I was failing. And I had to realize that failure isn't fatal. And messing up doesn't mean that you're missing out. And so it was okay for me to, for me not to be perfect any longer, for me not to hit a goal when I was supposed to hit a goal, because, through all of those ups and downs, I learned that adversity is the best university. And so that is where I was going to learn some of my greatest lessons. And so, once I really got a hold of my purpose and who God called me to be in my assignments, what?
It was
But
over.
from that moment on, are you hearing me?
I love it.
Moment on. So, yeah, I had to choose that thing. My purpose was more important than me being perfect in anything. God accepts me for who I am, and that's okay.
I love it. Okay, so um, as I said, I started Affirmed Armor. We started off with I'm enough. We've done I am blessed, and we've also done I am evolving.
Okay.
What would you say is your go-to affirmation?
My go-to affirmation, oh gosh, I believe from what I started off, you're never too old to have goals, Wanda, and it's never too late for you to be great. And so there's endless progression. I can always keep making progress day after day because it's never too late for me to be great. And so no matter how old I get in life, I can still continue to learn and to become a better version of myself. And I had to get from that place because I was at that place where I feel like I had to know it all. But I went from being a person, I don't have to know it all, just learn it all. And just me being at the place where I can learn it all, then I'll never, not be able to reach greatness, and so that's what I would say. You're never too old to have goals, and it's never too late to be great. So when people see me, they know.
I love it. Thank you for sharing both of those with us. Okay, so I want to give you the opportunity to share how we can support you. How can we follow you? What do you have? Any projects coming up? You mentioned having a TV show. So where can we watch you? Just give us the lowdown.
Okay, so I have a TV show called Achieve Your Goals with Wanda Martin, and it's on RBN TV Network on Roku TV. So if you have Roku TV, you should be able to follow that. But then also you can access that the network from my website, which is www.wandamartin.org. And so that's one of the things that I'm doing. I am currently in the process of putting together a curriculum for schools called Have Goals, Not Guns. Combat the gun violence that's in our city, our states, plaguing our country. And I have some individuals that are backing me up, like Jack Canfield. I don't know if you heard of Jack Canfield. Chicken Soul.
Yeah. Yep.
It's Super the Soul. He's backing me up. James Malinchak, who was on TV's hit show Secret Millionaire.
Okay. Yep.
He was on there, and so he's backing me up. And so I have some high profile, some celebrities that are backing me up that's willing to get behind me to make sure I get this project out into the schools, get into the juvenile systems, the women prison systems, to have goals and not guns. Because I had a niece who was killed not too long ago, murdered, just been in the wrong place at the wrong time for some young guys having some guns and executed her and her friend while they were just having a conversation.
Wow.
So that has been my motivating factor to to try to get the guns out of their hands and put goals in their heads.
Yeah.
So as you guys,
beautiful.
We're going to do a book, a curriculum. I'm asking for, anyone who's out there, because I want to build a large team to help me with this project, because I'm really trying to impact cities and states, not just where I live, but just in other areas as well, who's dealing with gun violence. So that's another project that I'm currently working on. I do have 2 books that are out there called Go for the Goals. So since I didn't get that gold for it, since I didn't get those for the Olympics, so I call it Go for the Gold, because I'm still, my mindset is going for that gold.
I love it.
It's called Go for the Goals. And Ashley, you was actually one of the individuals who wrote a testimony about my book, or forward about my book. So thank you for that. And so it's absolutely doing phenomenal now. That you can purchase it on Amazon, or you can also purchase it on my website. And along with that reading book, it's an action guide. And this action guide, I'm actually utilizing it within the school district of Philadelphia in their headquarters with their top leaders. And so I'm doing really well with that. And so I just look for support from that as well. And so, yeah, I think those were the really big projects that I have going on right now that's taking a lot of my time. But it's all good. It's all fun. So I'm enjoying it.
I love that. Okay. So you'll have to send me the links for everything, and then we'll put it in the show notes so that when people go back and rewatch on YouTube, and when they stream it, they can also be able to hear it. Or they'll be able to click the links to support your projects. So yeah, we'll think and get that squared away. So I want to thank you again for being on. This was great. I truly enjoyed your workshop when we did it at that retreat a couple years ago before the world shut down. But it was truly amazing. And so yes. So, all right. So I'm the amateur expert, and I know a little bit about a lot. And so I would love for you to share with me a random fact or a tidbit that I can say, Pastor Wanda taught me.
Okay. University of Scranton, they did a research, and they discovered 92% of Americans who set their goals, they never achieved them. which means only 8% do. And so one of the things that I want to leave with you, Ashley, and everyone else to go and to strive to be a part of that 8%, absolutely. We want to be a part of that 92%. They don't achieve their goals. We want to be a part of the
That
8%.
8%.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, Pastor Wanda, for being a guest today. And I am excited about creating some new goals. I actually was going to make a post about this. I made a list of goals that I wanted to do, I think last year sometime, and I totally was at 92%. And so
Oh, not you, Ashley.
I was for real. And I went back, I was scrolling through, seeing, what I had posted. And I was like, wow, you really dropped the ball. But I was like, it's okay. You still
It's
have
so
time. You have time to readjust and to,
forced.
reset timelines and things of that nature. And so I literally just asked my audio engineer to get me the post so that I can make a post about this exactly. So it's perfect timing. The synergy is there, and I'm
Oh, good.
excited to
Hey, a
be
couple,
part of that.
yeah. A couple of times you would put out what different people that you wanted to interview, remember? And then you would actually have them on the show.
Yeah.
And so you was inspiring to me, even when you
Oh,
that going, girl.
thank you. Yeah, we're going back to the list. We're gonna work on it for we won't say the end of the year, but we'll give ourselves a year to do it. So yeah, I'm excited to get back on it. So
Yeah,
thank you for today.
you're welcome
Um
for having me.
and of course, and I look forward to being on your show soon.
Yes,
And
September 7th.
yes, yes,
September 7th, you will be on my show.
we're
So
gonna
I'll
make it happen.
be station as well.
Perfect. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. And in the meantime, be good to yourself and be good to others. And don't forget, be a part of that 8%.
8%.
We'll see you. Bye.